Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to another fantastic day of Raiders football. I do apologise, it is a little bit windy for today. Today is going to be a great day of football. We're down here at the Gibbs Street precinct out at Claremont Park. So Raiders have actually had the last couple of weeks off due to the fact that there was a washout round against the Nepean Ducks, and last week was our team bye. So Raiders are still 5-0 for the season, and we are now going up against UTS, who are now 2-3 for the season as well. So they actually UTS came away with a loss last week against the Nepean Ducks up in Wollongong. So we're just moments away from kickoff, ladies and gentlemen. So stay tuned as we get ready for the opening kickoff. So while we are waiting for the opening kickoff, ladies and gentlemen, again, I do apologise for the wind. It should hopefully die down momentarily. Probably within the next 20 minutes or so, it should die down. So as we get ready for the opening kickoff, I just want to give a big shout out to our sponsors for the season, Coconut Productions, Power Potential, Bridge Media, Main Logistics, the Lakes Hotel, and KK Media. Alright, so it looks like the game's about to go underway. And white hatting today's game is Nathan Wakefield. Alright, captains slowly make their way to the middle of the field for the coin toss. So your captains for today, Meraki, Ben Fraser, Daniel Hain, and Clark Hazlitt. And once again, white hat for today is Nathan Wakefield. So this is going to be a somewhat physical game, I would say, against UTS. The last couple of times we've versed them, it has turned into a bit of a physical game. So, and I believe that now that UTS coming off 2 losses back to back, I think they'll be hungry for a bit of payback. So, opening coin toss is on the way. Alright, so that looks like UTS won the toss and they elected to receive. So our defense will be first off the cab of the rank for today. So some players to watch out for on the defense. We have, of course, Ben Fraser leading our mighty defense for today. Our defensive line, we also have O'Neill Aguna, as well as Leki Otoa. And of course, the secondary, we also have Matt Ice Cold Hole and Seb Riley leading the charge there as well. should be momentarily getting ready for the kickoff, so stand by. So Raiders will be kicking left to right on your screen, ladies and gentlemen. Alright, so kicking team coming onto the field now, being led by Dylan Damari, our kicker for today. There we go, so the wind, as you can hear ladies and gentlemen, the wind is starting to die down a little bit, so I do apologise for the wind, so if I do cut it out in and out, it's just due to the wind. Okay, here we go. And it looks like we are about ready to go, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so this wind might be a bit of a factor for today's game, I would say. And we're off, ladies and gentlemen. Nice deep kick by Dylan Damari, and it looks like it's going to be a touchback. Alright, so UTS start on their 25-yard line. Okay, so it's first and 10 on UTS's 25, please. Okay, and UTS coming out of their jumbo set. Alright, ball snapped. It's looking for a run, and short gain. And that brings up second down for the Raiders defense. I believe that was number 8, Lecky, who made that tackle just then. So that brings up 2nd and 12 for UTS. Again, coming out of that tight end set. Going for a pass. And it's nicely wrapped up as well. What looked to be a short screen pass was actually perfectly timed by our defense as well. And that looked like it was Jacob Barrett who made the tackle there. Brings up third down. So that brings up 3rd and 15 for the UTS Gators. Okay, UTS taking their time. And they call their first timeout for the half. So they have 2 timeouts remaining. So again, the Raiders defense have come out firing, come out hungry. So again, I do apologize for the wind, ladies and gentlemen. It is a little bit choppy, but not much we can do. So hopefully, the wind will be dying down momentarily. Okay, so our defense get ready to take the field. UTS are still in the huddle. Alright, here we go. So that brings up 3rd and about 17. Alright, so they come out of their tight end set yet again. Schubert scanning the defense, looking to throw on this. And dropping back. Oh, he's got some pressure and he tackled in the backfield, ladies and gentlemen. And that looks like it was by number 50, O'Neal, who's one of our big bad leaders for the D-line. So that brings up 4th down now. So you would assume that they would be bringing in the punting unit for this. So it looks like they still have the same personnel, and it looks like they're going to go for it, or chances are they're going to try and do a pooch kick. And the Raiders just decide to leave the ball, and the ball slowly makes a stop on the 40-yard line, on the Raiders 40. So after a very successful series from the defense, Raiders ball now on the Raiders 40. So the defense were able to fire out very quickly on that series, being able to be efficient and being able to get there where they need to. All right, so now offense now make their way onto the field, starting off with a trip set closest to camera. All right, and it's a handoff. Not too much yardage there, I would say. So it probably looks like it was about a yard or two before he got tackled. Okay, brings up 2nd down. All right, another handoff. Oh, it's a QB keep, and he's going. He's going. Clark Hazlitt, ladies and gentlemen, could go all the way. Touchdown Raiders off 2 plays. Touchdown, ladies and gentlemen, with a nice play action from Clark Hazlitt, taking it to the house. Okay. So as we said, the Raiders are ready to explode from the get-go. So now we are going for the PAT, which I believe we're going for a 2-point conversion now. All right, standing by for the PAT. All right, Hazlitt dropping back. And that is an easy 2-point conversion, ladies and gentlemen. So now within the first 3 minutes of the game, the Raiders are up 8-0 to UTS Gators. So again, very explosive set from the offense and from the defense as well. So being able to score within 2 plays on the offense, that just shows you how disciplined and how well dedicated this offense is. All right, so we get ready for the kickoff. All right, here we go. Getting ready for the kickoff. All right. And we have Dylan Damari getting ready to kick off yet again. Oh, and this wind is causing a little bit of mischief at the moment, so we do apologize for that. But also it is out of our control. Okay. So Damari getting ready to kick off yet again. Kicking against the wind. And they go for an onside kick. and it is recovered by UTS. So I think that's the first time we've actually tried using an onside kick for the season. So usually you would do that to try and get the team offside, but I have a feeling that UTS were looking for that and we're ready for it. All right, so now that brings up first down on UTS's 50-yard. First and 10. All right, here we go. First and 10 for the UTS. So again, lining up out of that tight bunch. Shoebridge scanning. And it looks like it's a run. And stopped up the middle. And that looks like that was stopped by Nathaniel Barth, number 30. Really good run gap responsibility on that play. So that now brings up second down, and it looks like it's 2nd and 15. All right, UTS coming out of the huddle yet again. Tight end set. And it looks like it's another run. And tackle for loss yet again. So that brings up third down. So again, looks like they lost about another yard or two there. So that now brings up 3rd and 17. All right. So UTS coming out of that tight end set yet again. Shoebridge scanning the defense. Raiders showing a very aggressive front. Dropping back to pass. And it's a short gain up to... So it's now up to 4th and 10 now. Now the real million-dollar question is, do they go for it or do they try and punt? That is the million-dollar question. And it's interesting, so for those watching at home, punt formation, usually the punter's usually about 15 yards back. However, with Mark Shoebridge, he stays in the shotgun where he is now and kicks it. Oh, it looks like they're going for it. And it's caught! So that was a good catch by UTS, making the first down. So there might be a flag on the play, I believe. Nope, no flags. First down. So again, I believe the Raiders were expecting them to do that pooch punt. However, they just threw on that play instead. But that's all right. So bringing up another fresh set of downs for UTS. Still out of that tight formation. And they set up for a run. He's got some room up the middle. And looks like it was a short gain. So probably a yard or two, I would say. All right, so this brings up 2nd and 8. So they come out with that tight end set yet again. Twins to one side, one receiver on the backside. And that's going to be on the defense, unfortunately. So that's going to be a foul yard penalty, which is encroachment in the neutral zone. So they'll now bring up second and about 3. So that was good discipline by the UTS offensive line, being able to be cool, calm, and collected and not move. Our defense, they just need to play with their ears off, as we say. Be absolutely deaf to the ball. So that brings up 2nd down now. All right. And again, coming out with that tight end set. And it looks like it's a QB keep. And he's scrambling. and brought down. So don't know if he made positive yards or if it was still from the sideline, but it looks like... Oh, there you go. So he was actually tackled for a loss for a couple of yards. So that brings up 3rd down now. So that was a good scramble from QB Mark Shoebridge. Shoebridge, who has been a founding member of UTS for quite some time, still can run the ball. All right, 3rd down now. All right, dropping back to pass. And it looks like it's caught. And is that enough for a 1st down? That's the ultimate question. Alright, and it looks like they're just short. So it looks like it's going to be 4th and 1. Now, if UTS were... I would be looking for a hard count or a freeze count for here to try and get the defense to jump. So this is a very critical play for our defense to not make a move, not jump, and like I said, turn their ears off. And looks like... Oh! Shoebridge has fumbled it! And great pressure from the UNSW Raiders. So because it was 4th down, ladies and gentlemen, that means it's an automatic turnover. 1st down, UNSW Raiders. Alright, great defensive stop from the D-line right there. And again, being able to have that discipline to watch the ball, always a bonus. Alright, so now that brings up 1st and 10 for the Raiders on the 40-yard line, on their own 40. Alright, Clark scanning the field. Dropping back. Oh! And that is a beautiful catch by Michael Whiteman, ladies and gentlemen, number 0. The world famous Pilates instructor for the Raiders. So it brings up a fresh set of downs. 1st down for the Raiders, 1st and 10 on UTS's 30-yard. All right, so now we have trips receivers close to the camera. All right. Hazlitt with a handoff to Jerry Key. Was able to make some positive yards. So that brings up 2nd down now. All right, so 2nd and 11. Oh, okay, so now they see something. So now they're bringing that trips formation in slightly tighter. All right, dropping back. He's got plenty of time. And touchdown Raiders to Michael Whiteman, ladies and gentlemen. I'm pretty sure that was a Warriors pose that he just used from Pilates. He's probably the most well-known Pilates instructor in Gridiron, New South Wales. So that now brings up the score to 14-0 Raiders way. And it looks like we're bringing up the PAT. We're going for a 2-point conversion. So the wind is now starting to pick up a little bit, as you can see, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. All right, here we go. So going for the 2-point conversion. Hasler dropping back. Oh, he's scrambling. And ball came loose. And PAT, no good. So now the score still remains. Raiders 14, UTS 0. right, so that was a fantastic offensive series by UNSW Raiders. Two great catches by Michael Whiteman. They're really setting the tone nice and early, ladies and gentlemen. They're looking to put this one to bed very early. All right, and as we get ready for the kickoff yet again, I just want to say a big thank you to our sponsors. Big thank you. Oh, sorry, I'm just getting nudged by Marcos Jr. here. For those watching at home, it's MJ's birthday today. He turns the big 2. So after the game, we'll be having lots of cake, I hope. All right, getting ready for the kickoff. Here we go. All right, Dylan Damari ready for the kickoff yet again. All right, another booming kick from Dylan Damari. Looks like they're going to come and try and return it. And great stop from the kickoff team. Yep. All right, so that comes to 1st and 10 for UTS on the 28-yard line. Try and say that 5 times fast, ladies and gentlemen. All right, here we go. So UTS coming out of their jumbo package now. 2 tight ends, 2 wingbacks. And huge tackle for loss, ladies and gentlemen. That was a very well-read blitz by the defense, and it looks like we actually have a UTS player down. So I believe that was number 30, Nathaniel Barth, who made that tackle as well. So now we just currently have a UTS player down. So I think it's the ball carrier. Copped quite a big hit on the way coming through. So we have UTS coaching staff looking after him now at the moment. So we'll just please stand by, as hopefully he'll be okay. Alright, and looks like he's slowly getting clapped off and making his way off the field. So that's actually a good thing to see, that he was able to make his way on his own off the field. One thing you don't want to see is injury in this league, and being able to see him walk off, that's a positive note. Alright, so that now brings up 2nd and 15. Sorry, I believe 2nd and 20. 2nd and 20. Alright, UTS coming out with that tight end set yet again. And it looks like it's a pass. And that's an incomplete pass, ladies and gentlemen. So that should bring up 3rd and 20. Oh, I believe there might be a bit of a discussion though, there might be a flag. So stand by, ladies and gentlemen. The white hat Nathan Wakefield is just having a discussion. They're just having a look to see whether he was caught inbounds, or it could be an offside. So we're just waiting. Oh, okay. So All right, so that was a 10-yard penalty, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so we have block in the back on the defense. So that's a 10-yard penalty, so that's a replay of second down, but now instead of being 2nd and 20, it's now 2nd and 10. All right, so UTS managed to dodge a bullet on that one. All right, 2nd and 10. And looking for a short pass. And UTS able to complete. So that now brings up 3rd and about 5, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, no, apologies. That brings up 4th down. 4th and 5. Oh, no, sorry. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. There's a bit of confusion with the down markers. So, brings up 3rd down now. All right, and again, UTS coming out of that tight end set. All right, Shoebridge dropping back. Oh, tipped and just out of the fingers of Nathaniel Bath. Oh, actually, no, apologies, Ben Fraser. Ben Fraser. All right, here we go. Brings up 3rd down now. Okay, coming out of that tight end set yet again. And it's a run. All right, and that was a great scraping tackle from the outside backers, and with Jacob Barrett to finish off as well. So this now brings up 4th down. So this now brings up 4th and 5, ladies and gentlemen. So again, whether or not if they actually go for the punt or if they go for it. So it's in that down and distance, ladies and gentlemen, where they could run a fake, hard count and a freeze, or they would look for a pooch kick. And it's a pooch kick. And a poison call has been made. All right, and another shutout series by the UNSW Raiders defense, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so now the Raiders offense coming out fresh. It looks like they're coming out on their 53, the Raiders 53-yard. All right, here we go. 1st and 10 for the UNSW Raiders. All right, for a short gain. All right, so the rain is starting to come in a little bit, ladies and gentlemen, so we do apologize. All right, so I believe that's end of quarter, ladies and gentlemen. So that is end of quarter, bringing up Raiders 14, UTS 0. So the wind has actually picked up at this point, ladies and gentlemen. So if there is a bit of a cutout in the live stream, we do apologize. right, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. So the start of the second quarter. I don't think we're in Kansas anymore, Toto. It is very, very windy out here. All right, here we go. And it's 1st and 10 for the UNSW Raiders. Looks like we've got some heavy rain coming in. And it looks like we're having some technical difficulties, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. So bear with us and I will try and get us back online. Oh, all right, sorry, ladies and gentlemen. The rain is just wreaking havoc on us here. So we are having some technical issues, ladies and gentlemen. And all right, sorry, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to have to end the live stream, unfortunately. We're losing a lot of technical difficulty here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have some hail coming in on the night. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I do apologize. We're going to be cutting the live stream. Oh, and we're back. As you can see, ladies and gentlemen, it is an absolute hailstorm at the moment. We're all crowded underneath the tents. This might be called very early just due to the weather because this is a very hazardous play. We do apologize for the vision, ladies and gentlemen. I am unfortunately trying to get the vision back up. I'll give you a play-by-play, a handoff from Jet Key. Find some room. Whoa. That's nice and fresh. Whew. All right, apologies, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to have to cut the live stream short. We're having a lot of technical difficulty and it's a lot of expensive equipment. So I do apologize. I will give you a heads up. I will give you a heads up momentarily.